Welcome back to another episode of FemFlex Friday, where we dive into health and wellness. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about the pressures of looking perfect 24/7. With social media, the pressure to always look on point can be overwhelming. We all know the feeling. I'm with my squad today, Whitney, Linda, and Wendy, and
we're all perfect, right?
Yes.
Right. Oh, we're not. Okay, we are human. No robots here.
So we're going to be diving into this topic. We are all a little familiar with it and talking about how maybe we've experienced that. So before you start the episode, please like, subscribe, and comment below because we really want to hear from you guys. So. Ladies, with social media and Instagram, like, have you felt the desire or the pressure to feel perfect or
pressure?
Or to be a certain way to your audience?
Absolutely. I would say definitely. Lately, I've been thinking about like doing vlogging, right? And so I'm looking at all these different social media, the different opportunities to put my image out there. And it's really interesting because the vloggers, like what I notice on like, especially on YouTube, they're really at comfortable and peace with themselves and not perfect. They're on the camera with the wig not on, the laces is straight.
You think
their fingernails, a couple of them are broken, and it's like
so you're watching the real people.
I'm watching the real people, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I can easily transition into that particular, field because what we do, everything's been about looking and being perfect.
Right.
Like we've learned to walk perfectly on stage. When I take a picture, I know to turn to the side. I look smaller this way. So for me, it's I get it. It is hard.
We talk about this all the time, and I think that the really fascinating thing about this panel in particular is all of us have been through like multi-generations, and we have experienced so much of our development without social media, and then we've kind of evolved with it, and so for me, it's really interesting for me because I think about how when I was in high school and when I was in college, I didn't have a social media or anything, and you don't put such a filter on yourself, I mean, of course you want to make friends, you want to impress people, you want to be popular, whatever. I mean, that's just human nature, but you don't have such scrutiny, you don't have so many eyes on you, and you're it's such a smaller pocket, so you don't really have this idea of the world looking at you and what they think of you. And so for me, it's been kind of stressful, and I think subconsciously we all put some type of filter on ourselves, and even if you think that you're watching somebody who looks like they don't care, it's interesting because I was watching, there was a woman who she was instructing on like how to nail your social media and stuff like that. And she's talking about how people really tune into little nuances, like a dog running into the screen and go, oh, there's my dog, and then start talking, or have a couple nails broken. Like sometimes people strategically do that things, and so they may actually stage an imperfect thing that they are okay with, and they still feel like they are. It is so bizarre, but
they almost like they try to act normal.
Okay.
I just feel filtered,
unscripted.
And it's stressful to feel filtered all the time.
I feel like, especially in our sport, we are always under the public eye, whether it's a competitor who's like analyzing us. I always feel the most pressure when I'm in prep. Like if it's Olympia prep and you're 12 weeks out, 8 weeks out, you notice as an athlete, you're like, God forbid I take a workout video pre-pump. You got to make sure your shoulders are round, your quads are popping, booty's round. You've got to look good because you don't start filming usually in the beginning of the workout.
And that's right.
In the
that's
beginning.
not just in your head. People are
and they're like, wow.
Because
I'll get comments, your shoulders are so small. And I'm like, listen.
Really?
Like, or wow.
Even without a pump, your shoulders are like
so big right now. And it's like, it's an image. It was maybe the angle, the light. I don't know, but and a lot of, even some of my friends will say that. And it's like, okay, like, but you have to think about it because you're you're prepping for a competition, especially, you know, a show like the Olympia, everyone's kind of looking at you.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
feel like I pull back a little bit more just to avoid the scrutiny, because I don't know if they think I look good, bad, or whatever. I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it.
You know, you have to have thick skin, but you, at our
You're still
level
human,
in
though.
our interest in our industry, I think it's impossible to be completely like, I don't care.
Right.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, and we've talked about this in the past where, you know, being organic and natural, and like maybe if you're having a bad day, to just show what you actually like are going through. But it is really hard for us to disconnect from that and constantly portray a perfect image. So here's something that's kind of interesting. I wanted to point out to you guys, and Linda, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do, but. Have you guys ever encountered imposter accounts of you
gosh.
or fake accounts? So I found one of Linda.
Oh, you
Oh my God, what the heck? There's a
Look at
picture.
your face.
I only have 14 followers.
How did somebody find that?
Well, this is just one of them. There was a few of them.
That's
my gosh,
crazy.
this is amazing.
An imposter, for sure. No wonder I can't. And this person not there.
This is
that's
a fan
not
account.
I
That's
don't
a
own
fan
that.
account.
This is a fan account.
Yeah.
That one has 11 some odd thousand
Yeah.
followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a person
What
that
is
just
that
pops
video
up.
right there?
But it
Yeah,
does
over
say
there.
IG fan account dedicated to the greatest. So it is
Yeah.
an honor, which
Yeah,
is
it's somebody
pretty
who
cool.
honored me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Someone, you got to read that.
So that was a fan account, but when I typed in Linda's name, there was like 6 different accounts that pulled up. But that first one was like the fake
Okay.
imposter account.
No wonder. It's weird because then
wonder
you
she
can't use your name. I'm like, why? Who has my name?
Yeah.
Lenda. It's rare. Like, come on.
I've heard of people.
Well, at least they're nice.
Oh, yeah.
I've had some that have not been very nice.
So so we know Linda has had imposter accounts. Have you guys experienced that?
Yeah.
I've had people use my photo, but
Yes.
Yeah.
but I haven't. I don't think I've had anyone make an account.
So you have. How did you feel? And how do you feel?
I mean, it was, I'll say at first,
Violated,
it was,
for sure.
Violated.
It was odd because it was nice photos, and I thought, is this a fan account? But it was just odd. And then, so they posted 10 photos. I noticed it the first day, because people had just kind of said, hey, is this you? I'm like, no. Well, then within a couple days, it was the captions, you read it, and
Oh, God.
Whitney Jones is a man, and it was just, I was like, okay. And then that one got shut down. Another one was created, but even
Did you have to report them, or did
Yes.
you report them?
Yeah. And what's so
Yeah, I've
funny
tried it. It's a
is
lot of
a lot
work.
of my friends and clients were more upset than me, and they were reporting it for me, which I thought was really nice. Obviously, it's common.
Yeah.
But even my business, one of my businesses had an imposter account.
What?
Why?
That
People,
that would really tick me off.
Well, yeah,
because you're like I'm trying. This is like my livelihood.
Yes.
And
so
you know what?
they
It's
got
one of
taken
the
down.
things that you have to, like, as a champion or being in that position, and you said your friends, they got really upset about it. And it's one of those things you have to, those is one of the things we have to deal with. We kind of have to like even let go of things like that, because I got angry, I wanted to fight about it, but it's like, okay, I need to be able to approach
wanted to
what I'm
preserve
doing
your-
from a really positive place.
Yeah.
And I had to let go of all of this outside noise and people stealing and like being
Yeah.
imposters. So
Well, and that's where
that was
that's where
hard.
the verifications
That's
come
what
in
happened
really
to mine,
handy.
yeah.
And I'm actually surprised that you don't have a you should
Yeah.
but they're actually hard to get, the verifications. But I'm sure Instagram would. I mean, you have so many related sources linked
That
to
I
your
can-
name that you could probably
could go
easily
and do that.
That's how mine
Yeah, see, I'm
actually-
just learning of like knowing, like, oh, what's that little blue
Yeah.
thing? That's very okay.
I got
need to do
mine
that.
verified way back. I mean, it's not like I'd even won a title or anything, but my impression is it was because of the imposter accounts.
Yeah.
Instagram had contacted me, and I didn't know what a verified
I
account
see.
was, and they had said there are accounts being created in your name. Obviously,
man.
the two. So they verified my own.
Yeah.
That's how I
I see.
woke up one morning, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "What is a blue check mark?"
Yeah.
Because I got the email like a week earlier, and I just, again, it didn't ask me to respond. It just said you've had a few accounts. And again, I don't know why. but
Interesting.
then I woke up and So I assume, I don't know for sure, but it was all in the timing.
Maybe you got that because they were like, this is the real account.
Yeah.
Because you type in some names that are like very like that have millions of followers, and they will have like pages of spam accounts.
Yeah.
And having that blue check, you're like, okay, this is the right one
is the
that
real
I need to go
one,
to.
for sure.
This brings up another point that you guys are making me think about, but even more important than that is you create your brand, right? You create who you are, the essence of you. People kind of get to know you or the version of you that you present. And then when something like that happens to you, the way that you react can make or break the brand that you've worked so hard to
for
create.
sure.
And like you said, you handling that gracefully can really truly, because you don't want somebody who's pretending to be you to rob you of this you've been an ambassador, you are, you work so hard for your image and your brand, and then all it takes is somebody to just really tick you off, or a fan to try to take you down, or somebody to try to take you down because they want their competitor of your business or whatever. And the way that we respond to those things, it's like no other time in history. Before, you could respond offline to somebody and it would just be behind the scenes. Now you respond offline to somebody, they can screenshot, they can share, they can
gotta be careful.
So like that makes me think about, like, I know in bodybuilding we have these guys and people that follow us that they just love these really exaggerated images of women.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll see like, an image of me out there where they've like increased my bicep size is big and my leg, and I'm like, that is so ugly.
So
I can't even believe. I'm like, take that down. Like, what is that? Do you know what it means? That right there bugs me because they're into it and they think it's cool. I'm like, I don't think it's cool though.
Do you know what? I have to tell a funny story about one of my guy friends who was a bodybuilder in our industry, and I won't mention the name, but I was just on Yahoo or something. I mean, it was just a general website, and this ad pops up, and it's him. It was one of his photos from Olympia saying, cure your erectile dysfunction like this guy. And so it's this bodybuilder looking good.
No.
And I sent it to him and I was like, did you get paid for this? Do you know? And he's like, what the, I mean, because it's like, cure your erectile dysfunction like this guy. Like,
And that was that in the United States?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, that's embarrassing.
Yes, yeah. So in Mexico, if you're walking on the streets, like, they have all the pharmacies. I always like poor Phil Heath has his picture everywhere. Get your anabolic steroids here.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my. Yeah.
But
I've had that one.
so you had
Sad.
mentioned, we just went over like having a fake account.
Yeah.
But I'm sure has this happened to you where someone else is like somebody like using a different name, or they're trying to have their own account, but they use your pictures as their as themselves.
Yes. Yeah. That's really frustrating, because again, you work so hard for your brand and who you are as a person, and then you just feel violated. You know? But it's like at some point, because people are going to continue to do this, it's like how are we able to protect our brand? Because they don't just give out blue checks just because you ask for one. I've tried.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's really difficult,
Yeah.
So I don't know what all requirements are necessary, but I feel like everybody should have a blue check if they can show their driver's license and their. So maybe that's next in line in the works. I mean, I think technically every real person should be verified.
Well, we're going to talk more about this. We're going to take a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. We are talking about the pressures of looking perfect 24/7 and the modern day tabloid. So do you guys feel, we kind of talked about this in the first segment, but do you guys feel like that your fans expect you to look a certain way? I have a picture of Wendy Fortino. But
You
but
pulled
all of our,
images of us?
I did. I'm kind of putting.
I know. We did. Yeah.
But this is
I like
Wendy
it.
is a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all have pictures like this, but do you guys feel the pressure to put this on your accounts?
I do. And here's the thing: is there's a reward system.
You look hot, by the way.
You look hot.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. Okay, let's hit the gym. Break.
Here's the thing: is that I wish that I could just put nothing but fitness tips and advice and just. I wish that could be the only thing that I share, but the reality is that this is how I can maintain my platform.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. It's like almost weird because you gotta be able to like play the game so that you can have a following, so that you can make an impact. Yeah. And so I try to, shuffle around between the things that are getting rewarded. I mean, the things that get the most views, the most likes. I need to make sure that I have a platform so I can make an impact. And for better or for worse, when I post like a modeling video or whatever, that gets rewarded.
Like
it makes the algorithm for my account, But I
Play
do
the
feel
Instagram game.
the pressure. I do. I think it subconsciously makes me filter out. If I take a video in the gym of me working out, I could maybe look great, but I feel like, gosh, is this worthy of being posted? I mean, I think we all go through that, and I hate that.
Yeah, I have my phone. I have to go through my phone, and this is when I usually do it when I'm on a plane going to an event. It's like I have a million videos of that one. It took me like 25 or 30. I'm like, now I have the time to watch the ones to delete. And I'm like deleting because I'm like, no way can I let anybody, see that. So
Linda thinks she does Photoshop when she just finds the right lighting. I'm cheating.
And Photoshop,
that's not
because
Photoshop.
You got daylight and natural light on you.
That just means that you're always getting the real deal with Linda.
You always get the real deal with Linda.
Totally.
Yeah.
So Wendy and Whitney.
Yeah.
5 times fast.
Do you guys feel like you just said that you do feel the pressure to look a certain way for your fans? Do you ever feel like when you're not competing, or maybe when you're in your off season, that you need to maintain a certain look so you can still post that image and to fuel your platform and your brand?
Yes, but I've actually embraced that, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I look at it as a positive thing. I kind of, you get to this certain level and I need, it's almost like I've embraced it as like part of my accountability. So it doesn't have to be a negative thing.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're going to be traveling, like for me, I'm traveling to a lot of events and I'm around a lot of people and I embrace that and it keeps me in check. And I like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like that I know that I need to set an example. I need to be a good role model. And I think if you want to be successful in the fitness industry, you kind of have to look at yourself as a walking magazine article.
Totally.
Yeah.
And, so that's, I think I embrace it. What about you?
For me, I love it too. I feel like it's the way you present the authenticity of who you are.
Yeah.
Similar to you, you're always going to get the weird guys are like, oh, sexy mama, when you post the modeling, whatever. But you got to play the game, right? But then also, I feel like I get a lot of, I think maybe my audience is a little different. People love like the mom side of me when I'm wearing a baseball cap and my son's football jersey.
Oh my
and
God!
I'm like,
So I actually have that exact picture up, which kind of brings me into our next. My next question for you guys, does this ever interfere with your personal relationships and your family? So the video is your son at a football game.
They won state, by the way, in Arizona, 6A open chair.
Mama.
Never been done before in
at
their
that smile.
history. Oh my gosh, he's the best.
Nice.
I have 2 boys right there. They're both the best.
Proud mom.
Oh my gosh.
And there she is.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's funny that you mentioned that because that's what I had pulled up for you.
But it allows people to celebrate the other side that's
Totally.
not just fitness. And again, showing your authenticity. I mean, I love
people
my
love
boys.
that, though.
Yes.
And again, it was when they were younger, I didn't post them a lot. I didn't want
I would protect my daughter.
Yeah,
I wanted her to be, and some people were like I was concerned that people would think I wasn't like proud to be a mom or I wanted to show her off, but I wanted to really keep her separate because there is a lot of creeps out
and
there.
girls, I think, are I can post my boys because they just put on a hat and I try to post kind of the goofy stuff or their sports stuff. But I always will ask, is this okay? And there's sometimes like, Mom, are you filming this to,
know.
to put on? Because if
said
they're
no.
doing something hilarious,
Yeah.
I love the funny side of my family life.
Yeah.
But if they're like, don't put it on, I'm like, okay. Like I do honor their wishes.
Yeah.
But it's just showing like the true life of it. I
Yeah.
do love it. I will say though, one thing that's interesting, talking about trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a ton of injuries, whatever. Every Olympiad competed in except one, I've had a broken bone. So talking about posting up to Olympia, you're
Yeah.
supposed to, you know, amp up your social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like the year I tore my ACL, I was posting a ton. I had this New Year's resolution leading into the Arnold. I'm going to post every day. Well, then I tore my ACL, and I'm like, I can't show anyone
Right.
I have an injury.
So you were hiding
see.
it.
So I had to hide it.
Wow.
So my
Yeah.
content went
She
from
didn't even tell anyone going
doing
into
all
it.
this stuff. Yeah, I didn't want anyone to know, and so it changed. And then I would
Yours like selfie.
everything. I would just
Yeah.
do this swag when I walked because I would have weeble wobble. But
Oh my
then
gosh.
afterwards, it was showing the rehab of it
Right.
and the true life. So I had to fake for weeks. And then it was like, this is what you get laid out on the couch, no makeup.
This was
braids.
months of content that I've been hiding.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I'm like, here I am.
I'm
So
curious
it's
to know something from
interesting.
you guys.
Yeah.
The thing that I want to know from you guys is specifically to you is I see a lot of moms on social media, and I could tell, and I think it's just a natural instinct for women, you know, have that nurturing side of us, wanting to please people, wanting to make sure that we don't get judged for being, you know, like not a perfect mom.
or
Yeah.
whatever the perfect mom is,
Whatever
like
that
because you
even
guys
is.
are like sexy and
Yeah.
little tiny ways,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, you know, yeah, like you guys put too much into being like muscles and.
I had a
perfection.
really hard time with it earlier
Advice, because
on.
there's a lot of moms watching this right now who struggle with that. So hearing from you two ladies who do it so gracefully.
Well, and that kind of goes into beyond being perfect on social media. It also goes into like some people maybe in your life that don't understand why you're in this profession or sport of like why you're choosing this. But like I had my ex-mother-in-law, she really looked down upon what I was doing. And there was a lot of my personal friends, they had their judgments about, you know, what I was doing. And when I first started Instagram, it was kind of like more for like my platform. And yes, I was posting like, you know, sexier pictures. And over time, I might have changed some of my tone as I also, you know, got a little older.
Yeah. Sure.
But I did definitely struggled
Do
with.
you feel like you had to conceal like your Instagram page from like, you know, as far as like sexy poses
Yeah,
and
like-
not really bring
Well,
to attention like
At first, I was like kind of like, this is just my like competing page, and I don't think anyone that I like my family's ever going to see it. Well, then everyone started getting their own Instagram account.
Yeah.
because like okay,
You're like,
well
dang
crap, mom's on here too.
What's
Like
up?
oh no. So I started to kind of change like the tone, but
I see.
But ultimately, your daughter just looks up to you. She just
she
idolizes you.
she
I
did.
see
Well,
her.
now that she's 13, she's not the same, and I definitely can't post pictures of her. Now she won't let me. But it is definitely a struggle.
Yeah.
I will say, because again, there are a lot of moms listening. I've experienced that because you have to think. If you're putting it out there, you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And
Yeah.
if you don't have the thick skin, because people always want to judge you for exploiting your kids
Yeah.
or being a bad mom. Just recently, as an example, and I had another experience this week, and then I thought this is hilarious to show
Share,
my
spill
brother
the
or my
beans.
boys and I. Well, the first one, Brody just started driving, and so he had got his permit, and we were practicing, and it was his first time getting on a freeway. And for me, it was a very like monumental thing. I remember the first time when my dad taught me driving. And so I was videoing it, and it was so cute because he was nervous, and we're getting on, and someone, I posted it just a story, and people, not a lot, but I had a few people saying, you need to be teaching your son how to drive. You shouldn't be trying to video it. That's safety first. Blah. And I'm like, whoa, okay. But again, I chose to put it out there, so you have to be careful.
Yeah.
But again, I did a video this week, and I'm going to say it because I don't care. But we have this. I've got to get you guys these.
Go
It's
for
so
it.
cool.
This is
it's
raw
a
and
strobe
real.
light in your car, and you put it on the top of. And so my son was driving, and he cranked up the music. While I was driving, we hit the strobe light, and we were dancing, and so I started videoing it, and I thought, oh God, here we go
Disco.
again. I certainly am not posting this
Disco
one.
in the car.
But I got to get you guys this disco
That
ball.
looks
You're
cute.
like, it will be. You will never hate driving again. I could be in rush hour traffic and hit my disco ball.
That's so
in
funny.
my car. Oh yeah. So, but again, I chose not
Would
to.
you get pulled over for that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I probably would, but I'm also.
They're the
not a
cops.
good
You
driver.
like drive by some like CHP officer, and
If I was at a stoplight and I saw someone with a lit up multicolored disco ball, I would probably get out and try to get in their car and hang with them.
I have a question. This is actually maybe a stupid question. I'm from California. What is the? See, I just said CHP officer, but I think
Yeah.
that's California.
Yeah,
What do they
yeah.
call it in Arizona?
Police officer.
What? DPS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the DPS might snipe you.
Yeah, they might, but I'll try and talk my way out of it. It doesn't usually work, but hey.
But going back to what you had just asked, I just thought of something that I am experiencing now. So
Yeah.
not necessarily with my social media, because I've kind of toned that down since I'm not competing anymore. But now, as my daughter's gotten older, her friends have started to Google my name. And they will see, Lola's like my daughter's like, you have a lot of like pictures and like you're
photos.
famous, and I'm not famous.
Yeah, you are. You are actually.
Whatever.
But now, but it's not necessarily the
Humble.
social. It's not the social media, but it's like Googling your name and the kids
Out there.
discovering who mom is or what she did, and
Does she have a lot of guy friends, little boyfriends?
yes,
hanging
and
out
like
at the house
and
now.
well, not necessarily the
Let me
house,
come
but
meet your mom.
I will.
Oh, it's a
I
new
fully
face
like.
for you, Mom.
I'll sneak into her Snapchat account, just kind of like sort of
That's a
like
good mom.
to
That's
patrol
good.
what's going on in
Yeah.
there, and like there's some things that have like it's like, oh God, like. But that's something that I think most parents encounter as they.
You just gotta get thick skin and choose what you put out there. If you put it out there, you may be vulnerable.
And if you're doing a photo shoot early on and you're not really like, there's photos that I took a long time ago, never like nude or anything like that, but just maybe like you were talking about one episode, like in a thong bikini in a gym.
Yes,
well,
in
yes,
a gym.
that was the trend.
That was the trend.
and those are out there forever on the internet.
Yeah, and there's some girls now that they do things, and I'm seeing pics, and I go, really?
Me too. I'm like, I hope you're
Like-
never a mom because
Like, right. And then
Goodness
like,
sakes.
you don't even understand. And then I try to be like, okay, let me reel it back. Because
Yeah.
then I feel like I'm being a mom.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say to them, I understand.
'Cause you
know,
have
you're your own-
experience.
Yeah.
I
You've
just
been there.
know this is like permanent.
well,
it's out
sometimes you
there.
don't think about the future and the implications. But you have to.
Well, hold this thought. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
Commercial break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to FemFlex Friday. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. And speaking of comments, we're going to dive into some comments that you guys have shared with us and asked us in some previous episodes. So, Wendy, why don't you
Because
read a
we
couple?
actually read them.
We read them and we reply.
Yes.
So, Wendy, what are
Yeah.
some of the questions that we've gotten in some previous episodes?
Thank you for commenting. Every time you leave a comment, we're going to keep sharing these with you and answering your questions. So this was from our catfish video. This person, Female Bodybuilder Forum, said, interesting topic. I think it would be interesting to do a whole podcast show on deep fake videos. I've seen a few deep fake videos of female bodybuilders in the past few years. Also, I encourage you to watch the Catfish Show on MTV. Fascinating stuff, sometimes disturbing. There's a lot to unpack there.
What is a deep fake video? Just
Okay, it's like if somebody took your face, a picture of you, right? And then it picks up on like the certain quadrants of their face and they can talk and it could look like it's you talking. That would be a deep
Yeah.
fake.
Wow,
And
a
they
deep
can
fake.
come across like they're you, But
saying
now
whatever they want.
There's also deep fake voices so that they could find your voice and then recreate your voice and talk through your voice and your face, and that would be a deep fake.
AI.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is AI.
Wow.
It is kind of scary, and
I've never seen that before. So this is happening
you probably
to some.
have, and you just didn't realize.
That-
Yeah.
That was the story of the cheerleader mom who she was jealous because her daughter didn't make the cheerleading squad. So they took the most popular girl and they wanted to take her down. So they created a deep fake video on the popular cheerleader smoking weed and stuff like that. And that mom who did that ended up in jail. But
Oh my God.
They caught her, but yeah,
They
I
did
mean,
catch
how many
her.
times is it out there and you don't know
right.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So maybe we do need to have.
How do you create one?
She's like, how do I do that?
Oh, what do you got?
Have you guys seen the
She's
show
scheming.
Catfish though? Do you guys remember
Yeah.
that
Yes,
show?
absolutely.
And we talked about the reason why it's called Catfish.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so nuts.
So I remember that show Catfish, but I don't think that it's as easy for people to catfish each other anymore. I mean, there's just too many ways for people
Yeah.
to find.
What's another one?
Okay, so this one said, how many ARM underscore lover.
Arm lover.
Arm lover.
I'm lover. Yeah. I was like, oh, I know that one.
Okay, Arm Lover says, how many would have a career without social media?
Ooh,
Well, we know
some
you
don't
love
even have a
arms.
career; they just have social media.
I know.
Or that is their
That
career
is their
choice.
career, yeah.
But think about it.
I'm pretty.
That's
or
what I
funny,
think is like
or-
really cool about it is the fact that we can all independently, athletes, all pros, they have the opportunity to create their brand and put their image
Yeah.
out there, and it's not just the few, the
Right.
small at the top, because back in the day
It's like a
it was like
bottleneck.
you had to be employed by or under contract with Weeder to be in the magazine. So
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. He's absolutely right.
But you know what, too? Also, think about it. For YouTube, so many of these young kids, like there was a story like last year, the most wealthy YouTuber was like 9 or something.
Yeah, they just open toys.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like that's not a
love them.
career when they started, but it absolutely is now. I mean, now he's managing a brand.
Yeah.
So social media has created careers for these
Yes.
for the younger generation because
Yes.
that's all they know, and they're like, yeah, this is. I mean, how many?
She was
especially with your
online at
daughter,
Toys at Target.
How many kids are like, I'm going to be
Yes.
a famous Instagrammer
Well,
or YouTuber?
my
or
daughter, when she
TikTok?
was 7, she created a YouTube account,
Same
and she
thing.
would just,
My boys
hi
have
guys,
one.
today we're gonna be opening this LOL doll.
Yep.
Same thing.
Totally.
That's how Justin Bieber was discovered.
Oh,
right?
really?
Through
Yeah.
YouTube?
Yes.
Wow.
That's how he got his
Think
start.
about the Kardashians.
Well, to answer that comment, like I will admit, like my career is like my businesses,
Yes.
everything is founded off of Instagram.
Yeah,
I was a
social media.
hygienist before, and if there wasn't that outlet to get your name out there and to network, like I don't think I would be where I'm at today.
Our gym is only on social media.
Yes.
We don't do any advertising for Purple Six at all. It's all
Social.
Literally
See?
social media. And just that subtle shout out I did,
crazy.
that's about it. No.
What was the name again?
The Pro Physiques in Gilbert, Arizona.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
But literally,
Yeah.
that's all social media. It's so, it's interesting.
yeah, I quit my job because of social media. I mean, I was
Oh, wow.
managing all the fitness facilities at Stanford University. It was an awesome job. I loved it. I was, just killing it, But my husband and I, we were, we had a coaching business and it started to take off. And I'm like, this is kind of where it was, no one was really coaching at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I want to work for myself.
Yeah.
And because of social media, I was able to do that. So
Totally.
yeah.
It's interesting
Nice.
to think
It is
about,
interesting.
though, how much has changed.
Yeah. That is.
Well, you guys, on future episodes and including this one,
Yes.
please comment, ask us questions because we actually do read them and we can get ideas for future episodes and we really appreciate it. So, ladies, it's been a lot of fun today and please stay
Always.
tuned.
It's always fun.
It's always fun
Always.
here. But stay tuned for future episodes. Thank you very much for stopping by.